Good morning, curling fans at the Junior National Championships in Wayland, Massachusetts. We have an exciting game for you this morning. Team Viau versus Team Ponzio. Joined today, my name's Josh Drews. I'm joined today by Team Rose coach Sean Franey. Welcome, Sean.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be up here.
It should be a very good game here. We have two teams fighting for their playoff lives, both sitting at 1 and 3. So this game's pretty important.
Yeah, I saw the standings this morning when I came in and realized this was kind of a do or die for both of them. So it'll be a really good experience and should be a really tight game.
Yeah, some desperation should be had. A little bit of backgrounds on ourselves here. Josh Drews, I'm a curling club participant this year at the Nationals in the United States and a silver medalist at the Canadian Curling Club Championships. And Sean has a two-time curling club championship and coach of Team Rose here at the Junior Nationals. How long have you been coaching? How long have you been curling? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
All the information nobody cares about. So I've been curling about 10 years now. Been coaching, working with juniors for the last 6 or so, but coaching this team in particular for the last 2.
Nice. Tough game last night, I heard. Unfortunate miss at the end, or am I hearing that incorrect?
Yeah, the morning game, our boys played Wayland, who was undefeated, and told them go out there and throw the kitchen sink at them and see what happens. And we were up 2 with hammer in the last, and unfortunately just got a little under the pressure, flashed a hit at the end, and gave up a steal at 3 in the last end. So I think it was a good learning experience for the boys. They haven't had a ton of games under their belt. They're one of the younger teams here. So getting some of that experience and learning what to do in those situations makes a big difference.
Absolutely. You know, all these experiences you can gather and more information you can get, the better it's going to be for you in the long run.
95. This is the release.
Looks like we're getting after it here in the first end here. A couple of excellent shots in a row.
Whoa. Oh, back in.
Looks like Viau played right to the center, put up the guard,
Back 12.
put up one in the top 12. Ponzio drew one to the wing and then chose to draw to the other wing, was just a little bit heavy, so this gives Viau a chance to do another 4-foot come around, but this also looks heavy.
Do you like getting right after it in the first end, or do you like to ease into the game?
Personally, I like easing into it, but I think it depends on if you have second or first practice, and I think it depends on your style versus the other team's style. If you've got second practice and you know the other team is a hitting team, get right after it, make them draw right off the bat.
Excellent point.
For those of you at home who may not know how these championships work, 30 minutes before the actual game, each team gets 10 minutes, 9 minutes to practice and a couple minutes to throw their draws. So what that allows is, starting at 7:30 this morning, one team went out for a 9-minute practice, and then about 7:45, another team went out for another 9-minute practice. So the team that has second practice, typically the ice conditions are a little more closer to game speed at that point. So there's a slight advantage going into the first end for draw weight.
3, 4, 3.
The dreaded first practice, as we said always.
Yep. It's interesting in an odd game format. These players all have 7 games around robin. They make you flip one of the games, so you actually have a chance to change your stars and get that extra second practice, and it's always really good for the team that does.
Sorry.
The luck of the coin. I like that. I've only watched a couple of games, the 2 games that I had worked. How's the ice holding up here? Has the ice been pretty good? I know we have a great crew. Dan Austin-Heimer here, assisted by the head ice tech as well for USA Curling.
Yes!
Seems to be holding up pretty well with all the swing and all the speed. Makes for good curling shots.
Absolutely, yeah. There's been, I think we've had really even and fair conditions.
Yeah.
The curl's been consistent. The speed has been fantastic. Obviously, as the week goes on, the curl kind of numbs out of the rocks a little bit, but we're still seeing at least 4, depending on rotations. You're getting up to 5 or 6 feet of curl still, which is really good. Hits are straightening out a little bit, but you're still getting movement. I don't think there's any rock that's really safe, to be honest, because I think you can chase just about everything.
Just here, it looks good. Lots of room, lots of room.
Makes it exciting for us.
Yeah.
Take a look. Right here. Yep.
So after an early start where Viau had control of the center,
Looks good, looks good.
couple of half shots from their team and some moving around by the Ponzio team, and now you've got some rocks on the rings out into the side with 2 reds sitting 1-2.
One thing we do want to mention, though, before the game started, we're not sure which team it was, but they wanted to make sure that they said hello to everybody watching back home. So, hello.
If you're friends and family of either Viau or Ponzio, consider yourself shouted out.
Okay.
Now, Sean, does your team know that you're doing announcing this morning?
Yes, I told them that I signed up for this. They said they were going to listen, but I personally hope they're still in bed sleeping.
Curl.
Probably a smart thing.
Push, push, push.
Tough break for Team Ponzio, though, on the flash. Just over curl. Looks like it's going to give Viau a chance to pile another one on top and pack the house a little bit.
So yeah. Just a touch. Yeah.
It's definitely straightened up.
Yeah. I wasn't curling much.
Either.
Yeah. That's okay.
The first end always has a few challenges getting settled in, and this is often where you see some of the most misses, but there's always a chance to save the end, especially with it looking as open as this.
Yeah, I was just kind of thinking the same thing. Yes, it looks kind of daunting for Ponzio here, but fairly open house, so shouldn't be too much pressure.
Oh.
Yeah. That's great.
What do you like, control or?
Now they're not frozen.
Just to keep the 2 yellows in play there. Looks like there might be a hit on the wing even, so
I'm okay with
got
rolling
options.
out.
Normal, you said? Okay. Okay. Am I supposed to go right away? Right away? Just have it come down. Okay.
Really nice hearing the communication as she's in the hack getting ready to throw.
Normal up!
Sweeper's talking, friendly reminders about weight. She's talking friendly reminders about them cleaning.
Yeah, that's something that I like that's really been noticeable at this championship is the communication, and even at this age, is incredible. And it's something that a lot of adult curlers still can learn as well as communication,
You're yellow now. Like firm.
It doesn't matter what level you curl at, it's always something you can improve on. But if you're out there listening to these games this week, there's plenty you can learn from these young people. There's so much talent and skill, but also wisdom on the ice right now.
But I like it. Like,
just like
really round.
Yeah, you did.
Like this one in the middle, like this one, or like this one, or this one are just like very round. And the bottom ones are very like pumpkin shaped. But like in a really cute way. I like.
One of the beauties of leaving the team mics on all the time is you get to hear all the conversation, and the fun conversation about hair braids is equally as important as the critical conversation about weight and line.
Yes, I believe we just heard something about pumpkin braids. Looks like bubble braids to me.
I'll take it. All right, Ponzio's going to peel, kind of tick off that guard, give themselves a shot at those two that are sitting there in the house.
A little bit of pressure here on Viau now. If you don't get this in the house or in the right spot, it could lead for a potential two.
Right.
He did.
I think anything full 8 looks like they're going center line just to kind of clog up the draw and almost tempt them into playing that double, which would give up a steal of 1.
Yeah, I like a 4-2. You got it. T back! Back 4!
Top 8. Really gotta come down.
Top 8, top 4!
Back 8.
Back 8!
Really back. 14-6.
Yeah.
So you heard the call there, 14-6, and that's a hog-to-hog time, so the time it takes to get from the near hog to the far hog, and it looks like that one slipped just back 4. I think we've seen everything 14-7 to 15-0 for T-line this week, so without even touching it, that tells you how fast the ice is.
Incredible ice conditions.
Really great.
And that shot looks like it's going to put the force on.
Good shot, good result. Not everything they were hoping for, but just enough. Forces Kenna to make a nice nose hit and not roll.
Line! Hard! Hard, Carly! Hard!
Looks a little soft on this release. Hopefully they can hold it.
Just gonna go too much.
Unfortunate there. That'll be a steal of 3 for Team Viau.
Standing over here. Please do. Just keep going.
Welcome back, everybody, for N2. If you haven't totally abandoned us at this point, we appreciate you.
3, 4, 3!
Top 8. Line.
3-0 Team Viau here.
Line. 4.
I like to look at that as even if you give up a steal of 2 or steal of 3 in the first end, treat it as if you just didn't have the hammer.
Yeah.
Not a big deal. Stay composed and just go from there.
Yeah, for everybody at home, these are 10-end games. Junior men's and women's, and then adult men's and women's still do 10-end games in the U.S., so there's plenty of time to come back from just about any first end. We saw a team got 4 in the first last end and ended up losing in 8, so it's very very possible to make a big swing here.
All good. Nice. Really nice. Close. Back.
Said the first rock from Team Viau is a really well-placed center guard, about 1.5 feet from the house. And this draw from Team Ponzio looks like it's just gonna slide through.
It's very like.
Looks like the speed's just catching him a little right now.
Yeah. I know a lot of times, especially at events like this, you expect the center line side to be a little slower because it doesn't get used as much in practice. But the one thing our teams have found all week is that that center line side is up to speed right away.
Closer line. Maybe need some
4-3s. 430s.
Consistency, that's what we're looking for here. Always
it's
want
been-
the consistent ice conditions across the board.
It's been phenomenal for sure.
And just a touch left.
Looking for the draw around there, but came up as a second guard, so not what they wanted, but still a good option to put some pressure on Team Ponzio.
Looks pretty good. T. Yeah.
Hopefully they can hold on to this. Running out of rings here.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Good.
I like this.
Those little biters, they can get you later.
Yeah, well, and I feel like when you get a little further out, it's just a little harder to be accurate with the hits too. So you see Team Viau choosing just to go behind their guards and ignore it, even though they don't have hammer.
Mine's good. Top 4. Lots of room. Lots of room. Curl.
They've got a nice edge-on-edge guard situation, so
Curl.
they make this good, and
Curl if you can. Curl.
it'll effectively negate that rock for a few stones at least.
That was smooth right there. I don't know if you noticed that. Right there on the sweep. Her bubble braids flipped over to one side of her shoulder, and mid-sweep flipped it
Yeah.
onto the other side.
It's amazing the level of coordination, especially for some of these athletes. The things they can do while they're out there makes me jealous. Makes my knees hurt half the time, but it makes me jealous.
Aches and pains as we get older.
For those of you that have been watching at home this week and have listened to Dean and others commentate, we want to let you know that there is not a cheat sheet provided to us in terms of fun facts about these players. Dean just knows that much about all these players, which I think is special because we're out here flying blind this morning.
We have a program in front of us with their names, and that's about all I see.
We could make up stories about what schools they're going to, what careers they're endeavoring in, and what their habits are. We've got some fans up here that might be able to pump us with some details, both the good, bad, and the ugly, the juicy side of curling.
That's what everybody wants.
Oh, yeah.
Line. Line. Hard feet. Hard line.
Top 8,
Line. Line. Gotta go.
top 4.
Well,
As the ends do get more complicated and stuff, we will throw in our strategic advice, as whether you want to hear it or not.
that's okay. It's very good.
Whether or not it's right.
Correct.
Team Viau continues to pack the middle. Ponzio's made a habit of picking off these guards and has actually rolled for a corner guard already herself, which is making this setup look a lot better despite having that first rock go through. Goes right by the guard in the top 4, but manages to pick the one out of the back 4.
Still managed to get a result out of it.
They're calling for a 2-guard here. Try and clog up that middle again. Keep Ponzio wasting some rocks on that.
I like to be a little more aggressive myself. I may go right on top of my own red.
Right. Guard it by coming in.
This isn't a terrible shot by any means.
Good. Looks good.
Could you be more aggressive? Could you put a little more pressure on? Yes, but stealing another one would be great for them.
Oh, yeah.
That's okay.
Coming in a little tight to this guard. Stagger looks like it could leave a double here that doesn't jam, but something Ponzio's going to look at just to be safe.
As long as we don't jam.
You know it's good when the front end is calling out the jam as well. Everybody's paying attention, everybody's focused. This one
This is
seems to be
taking off.
yeah.
Whoa!
Gets the one, rolls over for another corner, and just out of play.
I like a 2 again. You see it?
Okay, I'm gonna throw 4-2.
Does expose shot rock for a moment at least, though.
Give it.
Yeah, the amount of focus by all the teams is
Mine's good.
it's really incredible.
Whoa, take a look. Looks good.
At the club nationals and any other games here, when I'm skipping it, I'm always wearing a hood. Everybody thinks it's because I'm cold. I'm actually using that so I can focus myself. So lots of things going on out there.
Looks good.
The hats I wear for the same reason kind of blocks out some of the
You
peripherals.
can come up to it now.
Good save. What time?
I like it.
Make sure we shout out our friends here at Warm Room Hero. Is your curling club website clunky and unworkable? Are you tired of your club relying on social media because your website just does not work for your members? Finally, the curling management software your club has been waiting for is here. Check out Warm Room Hero at curling.club today. That's curling.club. Almost with the double peel there, Ponzio.
Really close if they...
Still does the job.
Yeah, if they'd been able to hit that, hold it with the sweeping just a little bit longer, hit it a little bit higher, they would have had the double, but also potentially been able to pick out the one in the house for the triple. As it is, though, opens it up, rolls for a corner guard, puts a little more pressure on Team Viau.
Hard, Claire. Hard, Claire. Yeah, hard, really hard. Good sweep.
Spins back in. Believe that is shot rock still.
10-4.
I think it's a draw. Probably 2. I'm guessing 2. We might be 1 actually.
Girls are looking at it. It looks close. Our vantage point is a little skewed, but I think that's 1 yellow. The question is, how aggressive do they want to be picking out that red, or do they just straight draw? And it looks like they're going straight draw. Try and get a deuce.
Because
Not sure if there's a shot for 3 there.
yeah, I agree.
It'd be really difficult. Take your 2. It's all you're ever really trying to accomplish with the hammer.
Good way.
Hold it. Line! Line! I think so.
And that one just chucked up light. so they'll take a look at these to see who shot.
Wait.
And they've decided on one yellow.
So it'll be 3-1 Team View with the hammer now going into the third end.
Welcome back for N3. Taking a view around the scoreboards here. On sheet 1, Team Hagenbusch got 3 with hammer in the first and was able to force Team Ryerchuk to 1 in the second. On sheet 3, Team Berg was forced to 1 in the first, and then Team Johnson blanked the second. And on sheet 4, Team Shield stole 1 in the first. And Team Pekowitz is about to play their hammer. Shield is going to be sitting 4. And it looks like Pekowitz will have the choice of a draw to backing or an open hit and stick for 1.
Looks like they're going to play the board weight hit on sheet 4.
If they make that, that would tie that game at 1 going into the third as well.
T. This is yours. T. Well, back quad. T. We're back. It'll come down. I think we're back. Stay close. T. It's coming.
Back on our sheet, Team Ponzio started looking for a center guard, and it looks like it just slipped in. It is biting, but Team View has chosen to ignore it and is drawn in themselves.
The score the way it is, I myself probably would have hit the yellow, but to each in their own. Still give Ponzio a chance to lay 2 early in the end.
Just a little bit of a set on the throw, and it just doesn't come back.
And a quick update on sheet 4. It looks like Pekowitz did, in fact, nose that and get 1 as well. So 1-1 Shield Pekowitz on sheet 4.
You're good.
Claire's patience on her first one is rewarded, so looks like she's going to take the draw around that top 12 rock from Ponzio. Try and bury 1 in and sit 2.
Trust us. We'll get it there.
And it does outcount, but it doesn't bury.
Excellent sweep just to get it there.
Yeah. I think a lot of the athletes have found, in addition to this ice being consistent curl and great speed, it's very sweepable. So a lot of these athletes are, especially as a pair, able to drive a rock 8 to 10 feet on a draw even. Makes a big difference.
Manages to remove that stone.
She does roll out, so Claire's gonna ask her team just to put it back and hope they can keep it for a simple deuce.
T back. T tough.
Myself not being familiar with the junior curling in the United States very much. How does it work? Is there a circuit around, or do these teams get to play each other at all, or is it first time they're seeing each other here?
There is a little bit of a circuit, and I think it's evolving right now. This year there was a slightly new format. So how these teams qualified to get here, there were 6 junior spiels around the country this fall and winter. And the top finishing team at each one who wasn't already qualified for nationals. So 6 of these teams got in by winning or at least being the highest finisher at one of those qualifying spiels. Those spiels included a weekend in Eau Claire in November, a weekend here at Broomstones in November, a weekend at Madison in December, a weekend in Fargo in January.
Cold.
Very cold. Definitely a lot of snow on the ground there. A weekend in Raleigh, North Carolina in January, and a weekend in Blaine, Minnesota in March. So 6 teams qualified that way, and 2 teams qualified on points with a cutoff date of, I believe, December 20th. So for those of you who don't know, the World Curling Tour that all the top men's and women's teams play on awards points for events, and a number of these junior teams attend 1 or 2 events over the course of a year. So there were 2 teams that got in on points. Team Shield was in on points in the women's side, and I'd have to double check to figure out who the second points team was.
Interesting.
Yeah. One of the things they're talking about moving forward is using those junior events where they have qualifying and awarding points for those as junior points, and then giving the point spot to teams that are consistently winning, even if they're not the top finisher, but consistently getting wins at those events.
Would those junior points just be for junior qualifying, or would those count at all any to your WCF points?
That's part of the discussion, is if one of these teams were trying to qualify for men's and women's, would it go both ways like that?
It seems now, having to base my knowledge on the Canadian curling tour, it seems like a lot of the younger teams now are starting to get into the Scotties and starting to get into the Briars, so it starts to seem where that change is starting to happen now.
Yeah, and for the last, I want to say 4 or 5 years, USCA has made it a habit of, there's a spot at men's and women's reserve for the reigning junior champion. So Team Shield was at women's nationals this year as the reigning champion. On the men's side, Team Samson, who's not competing this week because of age eligibility, but was the reigning champion last year, competed at men's this year as well.
Young women's team, I believe, for USA, Team Laney Strauss, too, was at nationals as well?
Yeah, so there's the U.S. Program sponsors junior teams, a U25 team, and then men's and women's teams in addition to mixed doubles. So Strauss on the women's side is with the U25 team, and on the men's side, Danny Casper, the U25 team. Both teams came in second this year to the reigning Olympic representatives, Peterson and Schuster, respectively.
Good suit, Megan.
So it's a great kind of year for youth curling and junior curling in the U.S. when you've got those teams, those younger teams, doing so well at the highest stage in this country. But really bodes well. It's exciting. It's been that way for a number of years, but it's really cool to see it in play.
I was saying this to Dean on the last broadcast that we had. It looks like the future is very bright for USA curling.
Absolutely. Yeah, you look at the field here this week. It's an incredibly tight field on both the boys and the girls sides. There's so much potential, and it comes down to every game. Every team out here is competitive. It's a great field, and it's good to see that, because to your point on whether or not these teams would have seen each other, the answer is yes. I mean, these teams, for both the men's and the women's side, most of them are U18 eligible still. So this is, in a lot of cases, their second national championship playing against each other in addition to those qualifying events. So there's a lot of familiarity, and the game just keeps getting better as a result.
Ponzio looking to draw in here and lay two and try and put the force on Viau. Looks like she's going to stop in there. Not sure if she's going to leave the double and the roll.
We were too busy banging on about unimportant things to notice the fact that there were some excellent shots that were made there by Team Ponzio to clean up this end and put them back in position to put the squeeze on Team Viau.
Beginning. It's okay.
I don't know.
There's 4 sheets going on. I'm getting distracted by all of them.
It's easy.
Okay.
As a reminder for those of you at home, Sheet 2 was the stream sheet all week, at least for the round robin. And that's where we have the commentary. But Sheets 1, 3, and 4 are also being streamed. You can find those on YouTube, USCA's curling channel. Search Curling Stadium. I believe they also come up. Megan's first rock coming down here.
This looks pretty close.
Gets the double.
Excellent shot.
That's a great shot.
Excellent weight choice, excellent throw, excellent execution.
Yeah.
Good shot.
You can see these teams getting warmed up a little bit. First couple ends, there's always little misses here and there, but you can see them really kind of honing in.
Starting to get comfortable.
I know.
She real bad.
She was like, she walks over, she goes, I can't sleep. Comes over me and squeezes right in between me and Megan.
And she didn't take it.
No.
But she could have put it on Ella's back.
Right.
Calling to curl this one. Gets the hit. And a little bit of a roll. Looks like it's still going to be open for Megan on her last, but
Not an easy blank.
It was roll.
Gotta watch for the jam on the back red there.
yeah.
Otherwise, a nose and a whoa isn't bad.
Whoa, so I was like, whoa. And then you heard roll and whoa.
Do you want to go for that? Otherwise, nose is fine. I know.
Sorry.
You want to go for nose? Okay. Do you like this broom? Do you like this broom? Okay.
That was funny.
Sounds like the force is on.
Your team view here, taking one and going up 3 again. It's not the end of the world. blank's nice, but as long as you make sure this yellow goes away and you're setting shot, it's fine. Solid weight coming down, but it is curling.
Really hard, you gotta go. Really hard.
Good sweep.
Great shot.
So that'll put the difference by 3 again. So it'll be 4-1 Team Viau over Team Ponzio going into the 4th end.
You kept it clean.
Yeah. Kept control.
So it's good.
Twin Cities Orthopedics is ready to go with more doctors, specialty services, and convenient urgent care locations. Ready, set, TCO.
Welcome back to the 2023 Junior National Championships in Wayland, Massachusetts.
Starting off the 4th end. Team Viau coming in. Rock ends up top 12.
Thank you. Yeah, here, gloves. Oh, dropping stuff. All right, take your gloves. 2.
We were talking during the break with friends and family from Team Viau, getting the lowdown on their very intense academic aspirations.
Astronaut that plants? Is it plant stuff in space?
Growing plants in space. There's the number of curlers that I have met this last year, and I have to say, actually, exclusively female curlers that I have met this last year that are looking at doing, space stuff sounds too simple, but it's impressive. There's so much talent and potential on and off the ice in this field. It's amazing.
Once we can start growing stuff in space, geez. Unlimited potential. I'm more shocked, though, Team Viau being from Wisconsin. There's an imposter traitor on that team cheering for the Vikings.
Burner alive.
You got to be a cheesehead.
For those who don't know, Team Viau is spread out across Wisconsin. They've now played together for 5 years, and you can see the impact of that on their game and their chemistry. The communication that we're hearing in these mics has been fantastic.
Yeah, 4 exactly.
Everything from pumpkin beds to
4 flat.
who's sharing a bed with who this week. It's all dynamics. It's very important.
Interesting.
Brings teams closer together.
Hard! Yep. Whoa!
That's something that maybe is not exactly cherished in curling as much nowadays. It's just skill, skill, skill. Team chemistry is huge in curling. Communication and trust and all that stuff and familiarity is undervalued sometimes, and I think that team chemistry really helps.
Oh, absolutely. These girls are showing it in spades, and I think that's fantastic. I think especially when you talk about junior curling, first and foremost, the goal always needs to be fun. Because if you're not having fun, the pros don't make any money doing this, and juniors certainly aren't. So I think you listen to that chatter, and you can tell the teams that are having fun out there. And I think that makes a big difference. Obviously, winning helps, but it's hard to win if you're not also enjoying it.
Totally agree, Sean.
If I wasn't coaching this week, I think I would love to do a boys draw to see how the conversation differs.
Didn't hear you. It's okay.
Talk about throwing the hard hit. I do know that.
No.
How hard can you throw this one? Well, I got 6.5 on that one.
Yeah.
Good shot.
Now, your junior team that you're coaching, I've only just seen them from a distance. Small, are they younger, or they seem pretty young?
Yeah, we're one of the younger teams in the field. We've got one 13-year-old and three 16-year-olds. But they've all been curling about 4 years now, and it's really starting to show. They're starting to click. This is the first season with all 4 of them together. But again, like you talked about earlier, the chemistry, the communication, the dynamic, it's something they really work on to be close as a team, and I think it makes a big difference in their performance on the ice.
So good.
Also, notice their brightly colored hats.
Yeah, it's really interesting watching the uniform selections for a lot of these teams. We've seen a lot of bright colors. We've seen a lot of purple this year. I feel like purple's making a comeback. But no, the boys have neon beanies that just happen to be part of the merch table at the Denver Curling Club, and they picked those out early in their careers and have kind of stuck with it, and now it's a bit of a brand, which helps.
And I believe they have penguins on their jackets.
They
Is that
do.
penguins?
Yeah, someone gave them the moniker of the Penguins early in their careers because they all had very low slides, and
Really good.
it's kind of stuck around with them. So one of the dads is a fantastic artist. He is a medical illustrator by trade, but did a great jacket design for them this year. It's been a lot of fun.
Back with the uniforms here, I did notice Team Viau very color coordinated. Even their brooms go with their team scheme.
Yes, everything's got to be tight.
Look good, feel good, play good.
Exactly. I had a skip one time. He said, "Fashion intimidation is half the battle out there."
Great line. Not even joking. That sometimes you go to a bonspiel and you see a team all decked out, and you're like, "Oh, this is going to be a battle."
Right.
My family and I tried the reverse of that in the bonspiel in Winnipeg, Manitoba, called the Manitoba Open. We went as Team Draw Patrol. My nephew, Dashel, is a huge fan of the TV show Paw Patrol, so we threw a curling spin on it and had some shirts done up. And nobody knew who we were, which was great, and we showed up in T-shirts that were colored with Sharpies, and people didn't really take us seriously, and that worked to our advantage.
Bonspiel uniforms are always the best uniforms, that's for sure. So it looks like on the ice this end, Team Viau has been trying to tap their kind of rocks in, playing down the center. Team Ponzio has been making an effort to just open things up, but at the moment, 2 center guards from Team Viau. Ponzio's got a rock buried behind him on the back button.
Oh yeah, baby.
So,
Not sure if Ponzio is counting 2 at the moment. Pretty close by the 2 and the 12 foot.
Team Ponzio looking to throw up a center guard, even though they have Hammer here, try and prevent one of these run backs happening from Team Viau.
Trying to will it over, and no. Unfortunate.
Those sweepers pounded it out of her hand and just came up a hair short. Leaves the run back for Viau, which is no easy chore. Looks like it's about 8 feet.
Run back double? I think it's just a run back, right? Yep.
Right.
Nice sweep. Yeah, at least.
Sweepers call 9-5 out of hand, and they're going early to hold the line. Just a bit low side, but it does open up shot rock.
Forcing Ponzio with the hammer to go in slightly defensive mode now.
Was I just wide pushed it in? 9-6.
I don't mind this.
Got done that.
It's not bad. Okay.
I agree.
Kind of like just.
Yeah.
Asking we shall receive now, right?
Jennifer Chesky just came up with some team bios based on who filled them out. We confessed to the fans out there. Team Viau filled theirs out. Team Ponzio did not.
Dry.
So if it feels like we're getting into the facts for Team Viau, it's because we're surrounded by both their fans and a cheat sheet. We'll start making up stuff about Team Ponzio if it gets desperate.
Maybe some of them want to be astronauts as well that planted space.
No, I think I do too.
I have a deodorant stain too. I got it on my
Thing.
Really nice center guard there from Tegan Thurston. Blocks up that shot rock. Is high enough that Team Viau is trying to get through the narrow port and just bump it back.
Looks very close.
Going hard for line. Oh, and it just rubs.
Yep.
That said, the tick and roll is not to a bad spot.
They won.
That might have been the second best shot I've seen all week. First shot, obviously, being Nicholas Adin's shot at the Men's Worlds the other day. Yesterday, actually.
Yeah. Nobody does it like him, that's for sure.
Incredible. For those who don't know, Nicholas Adin threw probably 46 rotation shot, chipped a rock that was half frozen to the other side of the rock and managed to score 2 to force the extra end. Unfortunately, still lost that game, but hands down the best shot I've ever seen.
That was, it's all over social media, and I'm sure there's clips of it on YouTube. If you haven't seen it and are a fan of curling or just find this sport fascinating, that's about as fascinating as it gets. So Team Ponzio here. Kenna with her first. Looks like she's got a chance to do a hit and roll on that last shot rock from Tegan. Sorry, that was Megan's rock. Flips their guard, but does open it up and actually sits as a staggered guard on their shot rock.
I can call you on again.
So not a terrible result. Claire's got to make the decision. Is she just freezing? Is she tapping?
Like, what was that? I think I had a 4.
Got to be careful how you position this one as well.
Yeah, you should have.
Could leave a double off the side.
Yeah. If you tap it back 8 but don't remove it entirely, that doubles there for 2, maybe 3.
Delicate shot here coming up
Yeah.
from fourth stone thrower Megan McPhee.
So much on that side.
I think frozen is best. I think if you're going to miss, it probably doesn't hurt to leave it a hair short even.
Back forward.
I agree with that.
Line. Hard line. Gotta go.
This one is swinging hard.
Hard, Ellery. Hard.
Clips the guards, spins in.
All the way.
Pretty good spot.
Yeah. Not sure it leaves a double that doesn't jam. Maybe if you get really cute. Also kind of takes away the in-off on the one that was on the side of the 4-foot, so
I hope it doesn't
that's
jam.
a pretty good spot.
What if you threw back 8 weight, back 4 weight on the 2 yellows that are at the top? You think the drag effect could possibly bring it closer to the button?
I think that's your best play, is hitting the left side as we look at the overhead cam of those double yellows there.
Hair is so cute.
I think you may need just a hair more weight than that because you're dragging 2 rocks, but if you threw back line at it, that second yellow probably comes in and just sits right on yours.
It's like on the couch. I was like, you're kidding.
I think that's your best shot at it too.
This one, looks like she's gonna try and go through the hole there, the staggered hole, the yellow red, and try and just grab full 4.
Yeah. Based on that last shot from Megan and how much it curled, I think the shot's probably there if the weight's right and the broom's good.
That's disgusting. You should have let those be washed. I don't think they can be washed. Yeah, they're leather. You're right. It's a problem.
They're on it early. Alternating line and curl. And it is just going to catch that top set.
Still manages to get her 1 point though, so that'll be Team Viau over Ponzio right now, 4-2 going into the 5th end. Viau taking control back of the hammer.
The everyday person may not aspire to be a professional athlete or an Olympic athlete. You may just want to be the best person you can be. You just may want to sleep better. You may want to feel better. Thorne has many products that can support all of those things. So it's not just about performing or running faster or jumping higher. It's those little things that go into having a higher quality of life.
It's missing an eye. 7, 8. Okay.
So you're the 6, 5, 3, 4, 7, 8. 1, 2. Yes. So everything about today is really just a little funky.
Good way.
He said,
I think it's
balls. I gotta.
Welcome back to the 2023 Junior National Championships in Wayland, Massachusetts. Tight game going on here. Both teams fighting for their playoff lives.
It's good.
Yeah, with the exception of that big first end steal from Viau. This one's just been trading ones as we expected, keeping it tight. Taking a swing around the other sheets really quickly. On sheet 1, after taking 3 in the first, Hagenbusch was forced in the third, and Ryerchuk came back with 3 of her own in the fourth, so that's a tie game 4-4. On sheet 3, after blanking the second, Team Johnson got 2 with the hammer in the third and stole 1 in the fourth, so they're up 3-1 on Team Berg. And over on sheet 4, after stealing 1 in the first, Pekowitz got 1 in the second and stole 1 in the third. Team Shield is looking at throwing their hammer here.
I see a shot for 7? 6 or 7?
Depending on if... Yeah, there's a lot of things that could happen here, but there's a lot of rocks in the house and a lot of potential.
She said just a little
Probably
tad
only
release.
can maybe get 3 here.
Yeah.
You'd have to hit it hard in that.
If that center guard wasn't there, I think you'd have a chance at more, but...
Mine.
Looks pretty
This
close.
is mine.
They're sweeping hard. They got it by. And it's gonna be 2, it looks like. 2 for Team Shield. Made it about as well as you possibly could have.
Again, we're at about a 45-degree angle trying to look at that sheet, so we can't exactly see all the quite the angles there.
Yeah, but that gives them 2 in the fourth and a 3-2 lead over Team Pekowitz, who is the local team on the women's side.
Is that me?
No, those there.
Okay.
Is this T?
Back to our sheet here. Team Ponzio has played 2 rocks in the center line, 1 as a 2 guard, and then a come around to the top 12. Team Viau has 2 staggered corners there on the right side. And Team Ponzio is playing another draw round, trying to get top 4 to put some pressure on them before we head into the break.
Kenna Ponzio's last rocks just been over curling. I think maybe the swing and maybe her slight soft release is really just catching them off guard a little bit. What do you think?
Yeah, it looks like, I mean, there's been a lot of clips so far for both teams, really. I mean, Megan McPhee had that one that did the same, and fortunately for her, it spun into the good spot for them. But I think, especially when you get into a tight game like this, you're really trying hard to get that berry, to make the shot perfectly. And when it is swinging as much as it is, it's always a bit of a challenge. Team Viau going for the hit and roll here. Gets the hit and a really big roll all the way over under their corner guards to sit shot.
That is lost under there now.
That was a great shot. Great sweep. Good finish.
Same way?
And a little fist bump from the sweepers afterwards.
I feel like as a sweeper, it's whenever you can contribute to a team shot like that and make it really well, but you know it was on your back, it's always a really good feeling.
Absolutely. Gives you a little bit of a boost as well.
To your point there, Ponzio trying the same draw they just threw, took a little more ice to be a little more conscious, and it under curled. So now that sits shot, but only momentarily, as it is mostly open to the shooter.
This is Ellery Baisley, freshman at the University of Minnesota, looking to make the takeout. Not a bad spot either.
No, dead nose is pretty good there.
I was thinking back over the whole time I was down there.
Nope.
Team Ponzio is going to try for the hit and roll here just to flop under, but it will risk leaving the double on the top there. Tegan Thurston throwing.
What were you?
Right out of her hand, picked it up.
How does that one go?
By and under. Made the shot about as well as she could.
Excellent.
Me either.
That's still shot. Do you like a peel?
Yeah, I like that. I kind
You
of
talk about asking, you shall receive.
Yeah.
Jenna Brzeski working hard behind the scenes, coming in hot with the facts for Team Ponzio. So we'll start slipping things in, and now we can be an equitable and fair broadcast.
Wow. Should start asking for more. Wonder what we can get.
Yes. Hey. Oh, other side.
Watch that back one. Watch the back one.
And it did not sit. Oh, that's unfortunate break on the over curl.
Sorry.
Removes the one counter they had. Leaves Team Ponzio sitting 3 with two in the top 12 biting center.
I couldn't see. 2.
It curled a lot. Oh, maybe.
Got it.
For those of you that wonder who we keep referencing, Jenna's a competitive curler in her own right, was at women's this year, but also is a member of USA Curling on the staff side, and a local curler, a local product here from Broomstones, I believe. So
I believe so.
it's nice having her around this week. She's working really hard with the rest of the team to put together a great national championship from both the club perspective and USCA's perspective, and I have to say, so far it's been top notch.
I was going to ask you, how has your experience been out here?
It's great. I will say, for all the curlers out there, if you haven't been to the Broomstones Curling Club, you have to put this one on your bucket list. You see kind of some of the shots from the cameras. It's a beautiful ice house, great high vaulted ceilings with mass timber construction. But the warm room itself is awesome. It's a triple decker warm room. Lot of great character, old school feel. It's in a wonderful neighborhood. The hospitality here has been amazing. Everybody's been accommodating. For those of you who don't know, junior curling in the States used to look slightly different. When a club like Broomstones would host a national championship, they would host families from the club would actually put up the junior curlers that were traveling in. So it cut the cost down. You weren't looking for hotels and whatnot. You would just kind of send your kids to Broomstones for the week, and somebody else would take care of them. For a number of reasons, USCA and other organizations have gotten away from that practice. But this club still tries to do what they can from a hospitality standpoint. So they had local club members volunteer to be quote unquote host families for each of these teams on the men's and women's side. And a lot of them introduce themselves. They've been here watching the games. They've got local recommendations for restaurants and activities for the downtime. Some of them, they've been gift baskets and different things. So it's really, they've welcomed everybody with open arms, and it's really, I think, made both the athletes and their parents just feel really great about coming out here this week.
I did not know it. That was
Nice.
thanks for that, Sean. That was really cool to hear.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know at Broomstones here, it's a volunteer club.
They're just sitting
A
there.
lot of
yelling
the
at you.
stuff is done by volunteers, put together by committees, and a lot of hard work in the behind the scenes. And it's glad to hear it's paying off.
Maybe yelling a
So
little
welcome
louder
here.
will make you go further.
Yeah, I like a 10. Yeah.
As a club hosting a national championship like this in your club,
Yeah, the frequency.
USCA does what they can to support a lot of the resources that they can provide, but the reality is it's borne mostly on the shoulders of the club. So big shout out to everybody here at Broomstones and just in the greater Boston area who supports this. It really makes a big difference having something like this, and you see the product of it on the ice.
Right here.
Yes, indeed.
So after a draw by Team Ponzio to the back house, a hit on the top yellow by Team Viau, and a guard by Team Ponzio, Megan McPhee throws a draw to the yellow in the back and is currently sitting shot.
Also going for waves, but we had to go for line.
I was just going for line.
Well,
Thought it was good.
I had like
T-line's like 4-1. Okay, so 4-0.
T-line is a 4-0. Yeesh, that is quick.
Well, 4-1 for T-line, 4-0 for the freeze to the back one. So Team Ponzio here looking for a draw. If it's back to the red, that's fine. If it's top 8, top 4, that's great. They're calling T right now, and they're sweeping to get it back.
I feel like they're trying to hit them. Are they? Or what was it called?
Looks like they were going for back line even, which makes a little more sense based on the weight calls. Tap, roll onto theirs.
Some pressure now on Team Viau.
Yeah.
Looks like they're drawing against 4.
They do have backing. She just threw this line, but as you said, it is against 4.
There's something about throwing that last rock. Sometimes it can get to you.
Yeah. They call it the brick for a reason.
15. Yeah. Your one was good.
I got a 4-0 for hers.
So let's see the Madison West High School senior. Let's see how she can handle the pressure here.
Top 8. T. Good luck. T. Right here. Weight's good. T.
Yep. Gotta be here. Push. Girl, hard. Hard, Ellery. Hard. Fighting for it. All the way.
Really nice shot. Really good sweep.
Excellent shot. That gives her single point, puts them up 5-2 at the 5th end break.
Thanks, guys.
And this 5th end break is brought to you by Warm Room Hero, the intuitive curling club software that takes the stress out of schedules, registration, and more.
Yeah.
Warm Room Hero, a platform built for curlers by curlers. Check out Warm Room Hero at curling.club today.
Let's say you're in high school and there's a sport you like. But sometimes you think, you know, it might be cool to try a new sport.
Twin Cities Orthopedics is ready to go with more doctors, specialty services, and convenient urgent care locations. Ready, set, TCO.
I don't know. I kind of forgot.
Watch out for the rapper.
How much time do we have?
For those of you watching from home, hope you are enjoying the bathroom break. John told me I could let it sit for this, but I'm really curious. I'm looking at some of these fun facts we got from Team Ponzio. Kenna Ponzio is a state champion powerlifter.
Jeez.
That might be one of the best facts I've seen all week.
Don't run into her in a dark alley.
She also plays the baritone saxophone. I mean, this is great stuff.
I mean, but can you grow plants in space?
No, that's true. That's a good point. I can hardly grow plants at my house.
Plants don't want to continue. Come to my house.
If this were Toy Story, you'd be the Sid of growing plants.
Absolutely. What other facts do we have here?
Let's see some of the interesting things for Team Ponzio. Carly is an artist with an art piece in the senior high school show and is an avid thrift shopper. Seems to be a trend that's picking up Spanny. We've got another musician here. Christine plays in a band called Carpet Mode. I have a lot of questions about that name. But it also says Christine has been curling for 16 years, which means she started very young.
Top 12. Coming down.
I think we're there.
Impressive.
Yeah. Finally, Tegan, we've got a 2-time Wisconsin high school state champion from the Poynette area. For those of you who are not familiar with central Wisconsin and high school curling, Poynette, Portage, Arlington, and I'm sure there's one more area that I'm missing, and Lohja are kind of these 4 towns in central Wisconsin that have had historically phenomenal high school curling programs. And so I knew Tegan was from that area, and it makes a lot of sense to see that she's not only won it once but twice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I like the hit. Yeah. This is my rough.
I feel like I want to help Kenna with a new shot victory celebration based on the powerlifting. I feel like that sets up really well for a curling touchdown dance, if you will.
Absolutely. Make a big hit and roll or a double or something to score a few points.
Win the game on a skip shot and just put that team on your back with a power lift.
There you go.
Full clean. I love it. Start of the 6th end here. Viau and Ponzio trading hits. Ponzio with the hammer. So far has had hammer in all the even ends.
With Viau throwing the lead rocks for Team Viau, do you like that kind of setup, or do you like the traditional or the last rock thrower is throwing, or do you think maybe that takes some pressure away, or how do you feel? How do you feel about that?
It's interesting. I think any team that is doing an alternative lineup because they feel it works better for them is going to put them in a better position. I think as long as you believe in what you're doing, and I don't think you typically do an alternative lineup unless you believe in it. And you see it at the highest level. You see in Canada, the kind of the variations that Carruthers and McEwen played with for a while.
This year with Corey Dropkin's team, he went to still throwing the last rock, throwing the brick, and sweeping at rocks, and having Andrew Stapera in the house.
Correct, yeah. And so I think it's my argument for it is everybody on the team has different strengths. Everybody on the team has different jobs and roles outside from purely curling and what you do. Jim Cotter was the other example I was thinking about in terms of what he's done over the years. I really think that if it works out for your team that everybody can kind of play the traditional roles, then I think that's great. But if there's an advantage to be gained or a skill to be leveraged by moving people around, maybe your best strategist is better at throwing the lead rocks because they're just got that pure draw weight all day, every day, then you should leverage that. So I think it's a great question, and I think it's really interesting to see how different teams do it.
Yeah, I've noticed a few European teams have done it. Maybe not this year because I haven't seen as many European games, but the Swiss team used to have their second throw was the skip. Very good women's team from the early 2000s, Swedish team. Their skip was actually the first rock thrower.
Yep.
Margareta Sigfridsson, I believe her name was.
Right, yeah.
So it's just interesting to see what your take or perspective was on it. That some teams like their tradition of having the last rock thrower also throwing the brick, but yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I think anytime you can separate what's required for throwing versus what's required from sweeping and strategy and put together the best lineup possible, I think it definitely helps. You can make an argument it's almost like a shift in baseball.
We can talk about baseball all day long with myself. I don't know if you noticed, I used to be a bullpen catcher for a professional baseball team, so baseball is very deep in my blood.
Yeah.
My family actually built a full-size baseball field on our property up in Canada.
That's awesome.
With my last name being Drews, my dad, Bradley, would call their place the Field of Drews. And he even built corn around the field one year.
Oh, that's so great. Listen, if you're going to go for it, lean in.
Absolutely.
Still trading hits here on sheet 2. Not sure if we have any fans watching, to be honest. It looks like it's been a quiet chat, but, you know, it is an 8 a.m. Thursday game. For those of you that are listening, we appreciate you. I guess I should make sure to separate those that are listening versus those that are watching, because I'm sure there's some people that have muted us.
To each in their own. I think we have gold coming up here. While they're trading hits here, I'll speak about Floor Curl. So thanks to our friends at Floor Curl, USA Curling member clubs are entitled to a 20% discount on any Floor Curl inflatable rink set. These rinks only take a minute to inflate or deflate and are the perfect way to promote your club. At summer festivals, events, or anywhere you have a flat surface. No ice required. Visit usacurling.floorcurl.com and use the promo code FCInflatable20. That's at usacurling.floorcurl.com and promo code FCInflatable20.
Got to give credit to John Benton here running the screen. If you haven't noticed, when we do these commercials, he whips out the QR code on the screen for anybody at home.
We do have 37 viewers at the moment.
Apologies to the 37 of you that have to listen to us this morning.
We might have to let NBC know, we're the real deal or something.
Josh and Sean on the 1s and 2s.
There you go.
I will say on that floor curl set, I know Denver Curling Club has started using that for high school outreach in the Denver area, trying to build up some high school programs and get more involvement there. So from a portable perspective, it is a fantastic way to get things out there.
As we just brag about our 37 viewers, we dropped 6 instantly.
Yes. Doesn't take much. We can scare them away with the best of them.
And they're coming back. The floor curl inflatable set. My wife works in an office and is in charge of their sports and social committee. I will definitely be pushing this towards her. She wants some other activities for them to do. They just had their fundraiser for their food bank. And they had hockey. Their staff actually built them a little hockey rink too, which is really cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I will definitely be pushing floor curl for them for the next event.
There you go.
Freeze? No. No.
Agree with whoever said no to the freeze.
Yeah, Ponzio has hammer here. I mean, this is her first. You could make the argument with it being just half back 8. If you were to freeze, that's really your only chance for 2 here. The risk, obviously, if you leave them sitting 1, you are forced.
Still 5 ends to play. I'm probably not taking a chance at the moment. If this was maybe the 8th end, I'd consider it.
That's a good point. Scoreboard does dictate that.
All the way. Yes. Yes.
Harley going hard on this one. Gets the nose hit. Megan will have the same shot back, and then Kenna will have a chance to blank.
I mean, that's what it means when it's close.
during the break, I had a moment and went downstairs. Truly is snack time, the fifth end break. Is that the same in the men's as well?
Oh, yeah. Popular snacks right now include like fruit gummies. We have some fruit roll-ups. Applesauce packets are always a big hit. I think the applesauce is probably the trendiest thing right now, and the nice thing is it's instant sugar in a fluid form that you can slurp down quick. Helps for those mid-game blood sugar drops.
I don't know how well people know Colin Hodgson in the curling scene up in Canada. Well-known curler, as well as an excellent chef. During the Scotties, I believe it was a few years ago, had a full charcuterie board prepared for his team at the fifth end break. So it's just interesting to see the picnic time or snack time at the fifth end break.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. For week-long events like this, different athletes take different approaches, and a lot of it depends on what they're able to do. For these kids here this week, most of them are in school, and so there's a lot of homework being done. And even for the adults, you know, there's a lot of people that are trying to work remotely when they're at these events. Kenna gets the blank there, so that'll go up on the board, and we'll carry the hammer and a 5-2 deficit into the 8th.
Into the 7th.
Sorry, 7th, yes. Math has never been my strong suit.
Just because you're not a professional athlete doesn't mean that you should accept less. The beauty about what Thorne does is our product quality is the same whether they're in the athletic line or whether they're just for the everyday person. Thorne has kept true to never compromising on quality, never compromising on efficacy, never compromising on safety for not only athletes but for everyone who would use their products.
And welcome back to Wayland, Massachusetts, hosting the 2023 Junior National Championships. We're featuring Team Claire Viau versus Kenna Ponzio. We have Viau winning 5-2 in the 7th end, with Ponzio holding the hammer.
After the blank and 6, we're into the 7th, still 5-2. Ponzio now having hammer in the odd end. Claire throws her first one very nicely, top 4. Ponzio's trying to retaliate with a corner guard, although it seems to be hanging out a little wide.
Joke about Claire's shot, you know, she really planted that rock in the correct space.
Ooh, now we're getting punny.
Good call. Good call.
The family likes it. We'll take it. I see Steve Shields sitting over there. Steve is the king of jokes. Arguably, I would say the best official in the world, but that might be getting me a little in trouble for bias. Steve is known for cracking jokes with the athletes while the ice is being mopped after practice before the game starts.
Well, I know for myself, the jokes, the bigger the eye roll I can get, the better for me, and my wife despises that. Another excellent shot by Claire.
Yep.
Another curling highlight for her. She was actually the U18 bronze medalist this year.
Yeah, this team had a great run in Denver at the Rock Creek Curling Club back in January. I believe that was Martin Luther King Jr. weekend, and ended up finishing third.
Got this.
Winning the bronze medal, is that an actual game or do you get awarded it?
Yes, so U18s in the United States currently, because it's a regional-based event, unlike juniors here where you qualify through different events and you can have different teams from the same locale. U18s is a regional play down, so the format that USTA uses for those events is similar to clubs, where you have 12 teams total, 2 pools of 6, and then it's a semis and a finals format that they proceed in. So the losers of the semis do play a bronze medal game, so it's a win to get that medal.
Now, how do you view this part? This is, I've heard both sides of this. Would you rather win the bronze medal or lose to get the silver?
You like this? In or not in? I'll just go there. I'm not really sure.
We, looks like there was some discussion there about whether one of the rocks got clipped, whether it was during sweeping or on a roll.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're terrible about actually talking about the game itself.
Perfect.
Easily throwing up another rock here for Team View, looking to play something into the middle and kind of cap off that shot rock that Claire put in originally. To answer your question, Josh, that's a really it's a tough one. I think I would rather have a shot at the gold and be in the finals. So even if I lost and got silver, I think I would prefer that. How about you?
No.
Tough one as well. I've been on both sides of it.
Yeah.
Sure doesn't feel great losing that final,
Normal. Okay.
but you have to view the semis as, you know, I won the silver in the semis.
Yes.
Sometimes it's hard to put that into perspective sometimes.
For those of you at home, while we were talking about the playoffs, the junior field here, the playoff format is a page playoff. So the 8 teams that are on the ice right now, 4 of them will make the playoffs. The top 2 will play a 1-2 game. 3 and 4 will play their game. The loser of the 1-2 game will play the 3-4 winner of the 3-4 game in what is effectively a semifinal. The loser of that game will get bronze, and the winner of that game will play in the final for a chance for gold. Team Ponzio looking for the double on that last one and just getting the 1 on the single peel. So Team View is more than happy to just keep putting it back. At some point, Ponzio is going to need a double, or they'll be forced to the draw.
Reading some of the hobbies here, Valerie Baisley. Enjoy that taking naps is on there.
That's important.
Naps. It's where I'm a Viking.
Looks like that rock just undercurled a little bit, and there is a port, probably about a rock and a half's width. So a chance for Team Ponzio here to get through that port. If you clip with the guard, it's probably not the end of the world, but you sure would like to make this one good.
See if the lefty can get through the hole here. Oh, little rub and still gets it.
Rub gets the shot rock but spills out and will leave Team View a chance to draw behind kind of offset centers now. Can't really call them corners.
Yes. One last note on Ellery Baisley here. She has a fun fact here. She can only do 1/3 of a triathlon. Which one? Which one? That says guess. Which one?
I'm gonna say it's not the running.
See, that would be the obvious choice.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's not the running.
Cycling?
My first guess was actually the swimming. We're looking for the parents here.
My
She
guess
can't
is
ride
cycling.
a bike. So is it the swimming? It is the running. Wow. Okay, so she can do the running part.
Did they say she can't swim?
She can't. Well, it's the running. It's the 1/3 that she can do.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice shot by Team View's third. Ponzio looking to go around the other offset guard. Looks like they're going to come up a little light.
Yeah, this one checking up here at about a 2. So they'll have a staggered guard on that side of center.
It's amazing how the number system caught on so quickly. Do you know which team actually came up with that?
No idea.
Team Randy Furby.
Really?
In Alberta. Yes.
You know
First
what?
team to really come up and master that communication system.
Now that you mention that, I have heard that fact before. For those of you that aren't familiar with curling history, Randy Furby was one of the greatest curlers of all time, curled out of the Alberta region.
The Furby 4.
The Furby 4. Yeah. If you're looking...
Marcel Rock, Scott Pfeiffer, I think it was David Nedowin, and then who was their fourth rock thrower, actually.
Yeah.
And then Randy Furby.
Randy Furby. If you're wondering, yes, it was around the time of Michigan's Fab Five and was probably about the same with less controversy.
I'm not sure I know what the controversy is with the Michigan.
Oh. There was a recruitment and eligibility NC2A allegation for amateur sports at the time.
Whole team sweeping here. Ponzio jumping in there. Nice positioning on that rock still. Unfortunately, not going to be first or second shot.
Yeah, looks like it came up just a hair short.
I know, but she hasn't been sweeping.
View sitting 1-2.
Howard, sorry.
What shot do you like if you're Team View right now with your skips first?
So you're sorry. It's all good.
It's so fun. If we go there. No, but they could easily draw.
I kind of just want to listen here.
Yeah, let's listen in. See what they're thinking.
That's a really good discussion. They were looking at, do they play to the middle and take away what could be a draw to backing through the middle on the out-turn throw, or do they guard the in-turn tap on the one that Ponzio just threw so she can't just tap that in? And it looked like kind of the argument from Claire was even if you put one in the middle and you allow Kenna to throw the in-turn tap, you would still then have a runner to remove that. So I think the logic was no matter what, you're better off playing to the middle here.
Seems like sound logic to me.
That's good.
stone stagger.
Yeah.
Pretty good result.
Looks like they've opened up a port, but it's a much smaller port than was there before.
I was gonna say that hole looks like it's there to draw through, which I would probably consider taking on, actually.
Yeah.
I don't mind the tap here that they're probably looking at playing. It's just you have to over curl the yellow guard. Probably equally as difficult, but they have seen this path before, so should have a very good chance at making this.
If looking at that port and the angle here, if they are able to tap this into the 4 foot, and even if it were to go kind of back button, it'd be really hard with where all of those rocks roll to on the front for Team Viau to remove it. Harley's going hard for curl here, trying to get it to dig. And it's good enough for shot.
Nice tap, nice shot.
Team Ponzio sitting 1 and 4 at the moment.
I mean, okay, so do you want to throw that and then reset 3 and make her go? Or you give her a chance for 2 minutes?
Claire and Megan are talking about, do they throw the run and potentially sit 3 fully guarded, but also risk giving up an open draw for 2?
I mean, you could throw this. What do you like?
I might try and force her here. Not necessarily attempt to get shot rock here. I try to really make it as difficult as I can.
Yeah, they're looking at this in-off here. I don't know if you can get by with enough weight to make the double,
Even
but
if we
even if
just
you
go
just
here,
made the
that's
roll
fine.
in,
Yeah,
just like Claire just called.
Yeah, like board weight even, or something like that. Just a nice easy weight, hit half a rock and roll in.
Yeah, if you finish corner on that yellow that's shot, it's going to be very hard for a second counter to get in there.
Take a great shot to score 2.
Yeah.
Which, as we've seen all week with all these curlers, still possible.
Absolutely. They chose to throw normal weight, so they're trying to make the double. It's by the guard. It hits the rock and it rolls in, and just like we called it, welds right on there. Not a bad shot at all.
Nope, not a bad shot. Ideal world, maybe half a rock less roll.
Yeah.
But still pretty good. You're 150 feet away throwing a 44-pound granite rock. Hard to argue with those results.
Absolutely. This is going to leave Kenna the in-turn draw. She can get 2 if she can grab about half of the 4 foot. And it looks like she's got just enough space to do that if her weight is perfect on the tee. Great chance for a team shot here, bring the sweepers into play, although it does look a little heavy.
Looking to audible here and play the in-off.
Play the tick. Oh, it's going to overcurl from that.
So just getting her single leads Team Viau up 5-3 going into the 8th end.
The everyday person may not aspire to be a professional athlete or an Olympic athlete. You may just want to be the best person you can be. You just may want to sleep better. You may want to feel better. Thorne has many products that can support all of those things. So it's not just about performing or running faster or jumping higher. It's those little things that go into having a higher quality of life.
And welcome back to the 2023 Junior National Championships. We're in a very important game. Team Viau and Team Ponzio fighting for their playoff lives. We have Team Viau leading in the 8th end, 5-3 with the hammer. Going to be an exciting finish, Sean.
No doubt, both teams are really starting to play well. They're really executing on a lot of these shots, and I think you're going to get a situation here where if there's a mistake and a team's able to pounce on that mistake, it's going to swing the game. A lot of ones on the scoreboard after that first end, so you know these teams are competitive with each other.
Yeah, that steal's turning out to be quite the difference so far.
Yeah. Really, it's the only difference. Looking around the scoreboard really quickly, sheet 1, they are finishing their 7th end. Team Rihorchuk is up. Looks like 7-6 on Team Hagenbusch.
Hagenbusch is gonna have to basically draw the button. She does have some backing eventually. Actually, sorry, Rihorchuk's still throwing. Might be tough to score for Hagenbusch there in sheet 1.
She's got a kind of a suicide in off.
Yeah.
But we'll see how that pot looks like after this last one from Rihorchuk.
Sheet 3, Team Johnson is leading Team Berg in the 8th end, 7-2.
They got a steal of 3 in the 5th and another steal of 1 in the 6th.
And then over finally on sheet 4, we have Team Shield leading the local girls, Team Pekowitz, 7-3 in the 8th end.
Similarly, that was a steal of 3 in the 5th and another steal of 1 in the 6th. So those scoreboards looking pretty similar.
I like this.
And back to our sheet. A couple of nice center guards, stagger. Game on to the 4-foot now. Looks like Claire's going to try and beat him to the 4-foot here.
Line.
This one's going to check up just a little light and serve as another guard there.
Really creating the stagger there now. It's Ponzio can lose something under there. Going to be looking pretty good to maybe have a steal.
Yep. The proximity of those guards, there's definitely some doubles or even a triple option, but for Ponzio right now to get one in the top 4-foot, they're going to be very happy with how this is shaping up early. That one checks up, half in the 8-foot, but on the center line and completely buried behind these guards.
We're never getting them all, so I like this.
Claire looking at the run here.
Okay, otherwise appeal. I like this.
Yeah, Christine with the nice come around there. One of the only lefties I'm seeing out there.
Maybe, yeah. I know this week we have a few lefties out there for sure.
On the men's side or?
On the men's side, yeah.
Whoa.
You yourself, I believe, also a lefty?
Myself, that's, kind of how why I noticed.
Oh, the hope was the run, the miss was the peel, and unfortunately that one just goes by. So
just a little in-out motion, it looks like.
yeah,
Just pitched it out.
Okay.
we've seen this week as the rocks have calmed down a little bit, those hits really straighten out, and any outward motion makes it tough to curl. Kenna calling the draw here again, hoping for another good one. Sweepers look like it's a little bit heavy, hoping to keep it in front of the tee.
As it slows down, though, it is going to start to swing here, and it looks like it's starting to check up.
There it goes, finishing it in. Top 4 foot, fully buried, great line.
Gotta love the lefty in turn.
For those of you at home who maybe aren't deep curling aficionados, I can't imagine there's too many of you watching an 8 a.m. draw, but if there is, the two hacks you see, righties throw out of the one as you're looking at the hack to the right, and lefties throw out of the one to the left. What that does, though, is it slightly changes the angle. So depending on whether you're a righty or a lefty, you may see something differently from the other, and it can provide certain advantages or disadvantages on a shot. And just like that, it looks like sheet 1 is finally finished up to 7th. And after making a nice capping draw and forcing Bella Hagenbusch into a tough shot,
Yeah.
Sophia Ryerchuk and her team look like they've come away with a steal of 5 in the 7th. So that is now 12-6 for Team Ryerchuk on 1 in what is also a critical playoff game.
So anyway, I started blasting.
I think Dean said yesterday was moving day, but I feel like yesterday might have been hacking or loading day, because today's going to be the critical day. This draw is draw 5. Draw 6 is this afternoon for these ladies, and draw 7 is tomorrow morning. So 5 and 6 really kind of determine how things shape up. Your performance here can make or break your weekend.
Yep. Yes, hard. Whoa.
Team Ponzio packing in the middle now. We've got 5 rocks all directly adjacent to the center line.
Will this work out?
That is a pretty fortunate break for Team Viau. They accidentally clipped the topmost yellow, but they ricocheted off theirs and have spun into the 4 foot. It's second shot and it's back house, but Kenna's got to be careful here, because if she doesn't roll this away on this hit, she leaves Claire a chance to kind of bail herself out of this end with a better roll.
Do you attack this rock?
I think I do.
Whoa.
And I'm probably trying to roll out, to be honest.
I'm either ripping it, rolling away, or I might throw another guard up or go on top of my rocks. You will never know, though.
Never know. I do like that, you know, being patient and putting something up front. This one isn't explicitly hurting you if you're Team Ponzio, but you know that she's going to try and use it as much as she can.
Absolutely.
No.
Not saying either way is wrong. And
No.
I don't see
Just get it out.
the huge benefit of hitting it besides removing it. You're trying to steal points.
That's a good point. The more rocks you have in play in front of the tee, the better at this point.
Correct.
Team Viau just ripping the top guard here, trying to keep it as open as possible, hoping they can get out those 3 in the house. And
This might work out, though. Removing that one from the top of the button.
Gets the dead rock, staggers up the ones in front, leaves them sitting shot. The downside to that is now there's quite a bit of stagger up front, which means it's going to be harder to get at anything that Kenna is able to bury. I think you're right here. I think at this point, that rock is helping Team Ponzio more than it's hurting them. I think you're just straight drawing here if you can. And
Yeah, I'm trying to see from the angles that we can see. Hammer with for Ponzio. Hit and roll away might not be terrible here. Board weight.
oh no, Viau has hammer.
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
Ponzio's trying to steal. I like, they're
Yeah.
throwing the hit here, but I really like the draw.
No, I think that the draw then at that point.
Yeah.
Or tap the rock.
That rock was partially buried, and she was able to pick it out.
Hold it, I don't know.
In the process, it's split out one of her own and kind of opened it up a little bit.
Do you ever go this way? But better something there.
Viau and her last rock thrower Megan here have some options. They can make a play on some of those yellows on the top to open it up, or they can straight draw and go for the skip's deuce.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Looks like the latter is the choice.
I think I like this call. Don't want to really overbury on it. 7/8 under cover I think would be pretty ideal for myself in a perfect world.
The scoreboard says you might want to open it up, but I also don't mind this because if the assumption is that no matter what you do here, you're probably having to play a draw on your last.
Line.
Gives you a little bit of practice at it.
Getting a warm-up draw never hurts.
Hard line. Back four. Hard line. Looking five, we're back.
Sweepers think it's a little bit heavy, but they're going for line. They'll split that guard and roll to sit shot.
Not bad. They have to be careful with this now. Hit and roll will stuff on the back.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple of ways to take this, right? You can play the hit and roll knowing it's going to stuff, but you're going to get the roll under your staggered yellows.
Yeah.
And you're going to leave Team Viau with either a draw to the button or a kind of a tough slash double. The other option here is you could even hit this one if you want to get rid of it. You could hit it high side and leave the 8-foot completely open for Viau, who just threw a draw but was indeed a little heavy. Or you could just straight draw yourself and risk giving up 2, but also probably a little bit of an easier shot than the hit and roll from a precision standpoint.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Exactly what I was thinking. I myself probably play the hit and just force her to C3.
So it does stuff. It doesn't get the roll,
Sorry.
but they do sit 3.
But like
So it's
this.
going to be most likely a draw for Megan and Team Viau.
You always got a little in on it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Cold draw to the full 8-foot. No backing. A hammer shot by Megan here, swept by Ella and Ellery.
Where is it?
And they picked it up right away.
Where is it? Line! Right here. Line! Hard! Dig, Ellery! Hard, Ellery! Gotta go!
They're going hard to hold it.
Dig! Gotta go!
Looks like it's going to be good if they get it through. And it's good.
Excellent sweeping by Ella and Ellery. Picked it up right away out of Megan's hand and brought it all the way in there for the single.
And that's
And
a high
nice-
five.
And a nice high five there. 6-3 View after 8 ends. Ponzio coming up with the hammer.
I like it when you guys don't tell me anything.
Twin Cities Orthopedics is ready to go with more doctors, specialty services, and convenient urgent care locations. Ready, set, TCO.
And we're back for the 9th end. This 9th end is brought to you by Warm Room Hero. It's more than just software. It's run by curlers dedicated to building long-term relationships with your club. Warm Room Hero provides continuous support to ensure your website exceeds your members' expectations. Check out Warm Room Hero today at curling.club for special event pricing. That's curling.club. Nice draw by Megan to get her single point. Excellent sweeping. Just a great team shot.
Yeah, no, that was fantastic. Those sweepers knew right out of hand they had to go for weight. They knew they couldn't hurt it, and Claire in the house knew that the line needed it as well. If they're 10 feet late in picking that up, it's game over. They're giving up 3.
They're giving up 3. That puts the score. That would have put them score Ponzio up 6-5 as opposed to where it is now 6-3 for View.
Yeah, so that was fantastic teamwork.
I did see before our laptop died up here, Ella, the girl with the bubble braid there, had her favorite dream pet, a fluffy cow.
You know you're from Wisconsin when? I wonder what color that fluffy cow is. There's got to be something involved in
That's
that.
true. A friend of mine has some Highland cows as his neighbors, and apparently it's baby season for the cows, and they come out all fluffy. So my wife is really wanting to go visit to see the fluffy cows.
Yep. Some Highland coo action.
Exactly. Coos.
Something about him.
We've certainly lost people at this point in the game.
I mean, they would have stuck with us for 2 hours and 15 minutes now. Power to them.
Yeah. You all at home deserve a medal. All right, so back here in the 9th. Team View playing to the middle without hammer. Team Ponzio playing to the wings. A perfect corner guard draw around setup for Ponzio. Team View's got a nice stagger in the middle with one in the 8-foot. Looks like it is sitting shot.
Almost a textbook start, you see.
Yeah.
Leads throw 100% there in that end.
if we do have any non-curlers watching, we will say curling is a huge etiquette sport. You're never cheering for a missed shot. It's only made shots, and it's always nice when you see made shots.
Where is it? You get it lighting? Yep. Yep, keep going. Whoa. Okay, that's fine.
Sort of a double between.
Taking a spin around the other sheets, starting with sheet 4 this time. Team Pekowitz was able to force Team Shield in the 8th to 1, but that does bring the score in favor of Team Shield 8-3, starting the 9th. Team Pekowitz has some work to do there. On sheet 3, Team Berg managed to steal one in the 8th. So that score is in favor of Team Johnson, 7-3. Team Johnson retains the hammer in the 9th. And on sheet 1, Bella Hagenbusch had a draw for 1 against 2, had to go way out wide in the 8th, and unfortunately did not make it. Looks like Team Ryerchuk stole another 2, and they are shaking over there. So that game goes final, waiting on the official to confirm.
Official Victor Lee placing the 2.
Placing the 2. So the final there is 14-6 in favor of Ryerchuk over Hagenbusch.
Victor Lee rocking his Rubik's Cube inspired curling shoes in the back there.
I like those, they're flashy. Officials are asked to wear black for events like this, and I do like seeing a little bit of color out there. It's a nice, refreshing moment.
Mine's good.
Shout out to Victor Lee, who plays lead for my league team.
That's fine.
So, after a third center rock from Team Viau, Team Ponzio plays the hit and roll and kind of opens it up a little bit. Team Viau puts the one back on the center of the forefoot, but it is open. So looking for another hit and roll here from Team Ponzio. This one is going to over curl and maybe flop under.
With the double?
Does it roll out? It does. That's one of those. It wasn't quite what was called, but at the end of the day, it might be better. Leaves Team Ponzio sitting 2, both under cover.
Not the A shot, but probably the A2.
A2, we'll take it. That shooter rolled enough to be about 3/4 exposed, so Team View's going to chase after it here, and they've got it and the roll. Oh, not quite, still half exposed.
Excellent line call. Just cleared that.
Paper the guard. This is where it gets exciting. We start seeing some real action here. This is fun. This does leave Team Ponzio a chance to play down weight and maybe flop under the guard, or to get a bigger roll to the outside to keep it open. Looks like they've chosen the down weight, although this one is not quite curling yet. Now it goes. They
Nice
just
shot.
get by the guard.
Nice job.
Ella with her last here.
11.
Using the pro slide, one of the few curlers I've seen here using a stabilizer.
Yeah, I think there's a couple out here that do.
Just nose. That's it.
Ella Wendling, related to the rest of the Wendlings we see on both the men's and the women's side here. Prominent family in curling. Shout out to Jim and Wes as well. With
Good to see
Ponzio.
they're having fun out there too.
Oh yeah. No, that's always the best. I'm reminded of the Willow Smith song, "Whip My Hair Back and Forth."
There you go.
Apologize to all of you that had to hear that.
See the bubble braid swinging like a pendulum. Even when she's swinging, it's kind of mesmerizing every now and then.
Yeah. Ponzio sitting one and choosing to draw under the corner, try and get a second shot in there and really get some pressure on.
You know, I really like this shot. This brings 3 into play.
That's a great shot.
Excellent execution. Wow.
Just by the guard, fully buried. Claire's got to consider doing something with these guards here, or it could be a big end.
Do you think it's control?
Looks like she's trying to chase that one that they just threw and probably at least remove the back one.
Do you like hat?
The miss being if you pick the guard, it's fine.
Yeah, tick the guard, and even if you roll in, kind of like throwing hack weight at this and moving that back one and kind of sitting angled on it.
Yep. Yeah, hack allows you to keep the shooter kind of right on that yellow if you're able to get there. These rocks have been pretty lively this week. That's one thing we haven't talked about. The striking bands are pretty thin, and
I like this.
you get some pretty good spring once you get contact.
I like hat.
The stones that we had at the club nationals, there was some spring off of those.
Those were fantastic for those of you that may not have been involved. The USCA chose to use the championship rocks that they use at various championships for club nationals this year. Similar to Briar's and Scotty's rocks up in Canada, they're a little bit fresher. They haven't been used as much. So they've not only are they pretty fast, but they're very lively on their action. It's a treat to get to use those anytime you can.
Yeah.
That rock just sailed right by. Looked like it was a hair heavier than I think she was expecting.
Looked like board, maybe board plus.
Yeah. Team Ponzio calling their timeout. As a
Yeah.
reminder, each team gets one timeout, so their coaches will come out and talk with them about their options here.
Yeah, we'll listen into their conversation and see what they're going to discuss.
You always have a tab.
They're looking at both the draw under the red on the center, as well as kind of repeating the draw they just threw.
So we would like to get on the is perfect situation, exactly. So right
Coach
now,
Chase Sinnott out there.
We have to hit one of theirs or clump bars too much, right? Because it doesn't matter how many we put under here if we're not going to have access to theirs if they go underneath. Have 2 stones up for us, right? They only have 1 left. I think if we can get third shot somewhere, but still in a place to get to theirs if they end up drawing around. So if they end up coming, if they end up coming around, I think either freezing to the 8, hitting the nose is okay. You don't have to. Or coming onto that center line like happened to your third shot. Whichever you're seeing most. Yeah, like enough where you're still going to be sitting too. Right? So like just full 8.
I like that.
That's pretty good. So if they end up coming around to the 4 foot, you have to move the run in. Exactly. you'll be sitting 2, and you have the same shot again to get your 2 points or your 3 points. I think right there, either that or the same thing on the other side of the card.
Even top 12, if you get 4, that's fine.
Yeah, I just think either
I think
that
this.
second spot or the middle. I think the middle's gonna be easier if you have to. It'll be easier for later. But yeah, you guys like it?
For those of you that don't know, Chase Sinnott is a local product from this club and is an elite level curler. He's on that Team Casper team we were talking about earlier that came at second in men's nationals. He and his teammates have had a lot of success over the years, both at this level in junior nationals as well as now World University Games and the men's circuit. Chase has done a lot of skipping over the years. Currently vices for Danny Casper and throws the lead rocks, another alternative lineup maneuver.
I didn't care. Okay.
Personal opinion, I'd say Chase is probably one of the best human beings in curling, and I think it's great that he's out here coaching this team. You saw this high fives at the end, just keeping the vibes high, keeping everybody energized, talking through the strategy, but always making sure it's positive and optimistic, and I love that about Chase.
Excellent. Nice point, Sean.
Positive. Good. All there. All there. I don't want to touch it yet.
Got a curl. Curl.
Just by that yellow guard.
Dang it.
Gotta be careful with this draw.
Definitely deeper than they wanted, but I think on the right line. That was kind of the line they were going for. They just wanted it barely full 8. That's about 3 feet too heavy.
I mean, I think it could be a freeze, but I kind of want to talk about it.
And now Team View taking their timeout. And we'll listen into their discussion.
He's just sitting. Okay. Like, sure. It just has to be perfect. Like a this?
Yeah.
I'm just like concerned that and they still have a tough start to it.
Do you like the hit? You like hit? Okay.
If we hit, and even if we flop over to this side,
This is not. Do you like under there?
I think you get a little tricky with that guard, and then you crash in the guard, and then
I agree.
would I love it if you could sit behind that guard?
I don't think so. I think you
I think you
just
hit
control.
or control,
Yeah.
and you even if you give it a 3,
Yeah.
so
Your
plus,
time.
tied with the hammer.
So you think the roll here, but notice this okay?
If you hit those, that's fine. Give a little roll.
That's good. Even if it's not that that's good. That's really good.
So
Okay.
any of those spots,
What do you like?
what do you feel comfortable?
Are you gonna
I think it would be better to sit force them into a spot. Okay? And then let's think about what we
Important timeout distinction here. Team Ponzio is talking about lip gloss. Team View is talking about strategy. This is the beauty of curling. So they looked at a lot of different options here. They were talking about, do you throw the hit? Do you throw the hit and flop under? Do you throw the hit and roll over? Do you just straight draw to it? Looks like they've chosen kind of a down weight hit and roll over. If they can roll it over to the yellows that are on the left, remove the shot rock, they'll sit shot and really put a lot of pressure back on Team Ponzio.
The one point I did hear from Coach Chris View was sticking around. Stick around in the house here.
Yes. Yeah, you do not want this rock to roll out, otherwise it is a free draw for her third point. I believe Jim Wendling did the timeout, by the way, sorry. Weight looks great.
That's good.
Roll is perfect.
Pretty good. I don't know if you can make much
Oh
better.
man,
And they're shot rock.
they are shot.
It
They
looks
are-
shot anyway.
They are 80% buried, and the only shot that Kenna has is to try and get just what she can see of it and push it back.
What a shot.
That's incredible. I'm wondering, is it easier to throw the double, and they're looking at it now, is it easier to throw the double off of that red that's over on the other side and go cross house? I think that's probably, it's a long roll, but I don't know if you have anything but a draw going straight.
Just don't know if you can throw the appropriate weight that you need. Maybe back 12 weight, this shot is there.
Yeah, I think that's the right way to throw. It looks like, and she's throwing the draw to that side. I think if the line is good, they sweep for the bump and try and tick it.
Yeah,
I think
this is there with Kenna has that slightly softer release, and it should warp in a little more sideways there for her.
Yep.
I like your thought process on the double possibility, but
It's too risky.
I think this is the safer of the shots.
Yep, I agree. If you throw that in off and it just doesn't curl, you nose the red, and then you're giving up a steal of one here. You can't afford that.
This looks like it has to go a long ways. Well, she might get fortunate.
It's on the guard.
Still might get fortunate. Still might get fortunate. And she does not.
They're going to swing the bar for those two. It is going to be either one red or one yellow at best.
Official Victor Lee will be doing the measure here.
Got to keep him busy back there.
Absolutely. He's been getting away with doing nothing back there besides hanging numbers.
Probably.
While we do this, we'll take a swing around the other sheets. Team Shield was able to steal one in the 9th on sheet 4, and they shook after that. So final there is Shield 9, Pekowitz 3 after 9 ends. On sheet 3, Team Johnson took their 1 in 9 and is now up 8-3 in the 10th. They are throwing their first rock of the 10th. It's going to go through intentionally. And Team Berg will be up against it, trying to manufacture a big end here. 5 to tie, 6 to win. Back to sheet 2 here. From the camera angle we have, it is close.
My money's on red.
That was my thought initially, but the more I look at it, the more I think yellow might have a shot here. We're about to find out.
Doesn't even get the bar all the way around.
Definitely red.
I'm sorry.
So with that steal, Team View goes up 7-3. Ponzio will have hammer in the last, trying to score 4 or more.
The everyday person may not aspire to be a professional athlete or an Olympic athlete. You may just want to be the best person you can be. You just may want to sleep better. You may want to feel better. Thorne has many products that can support all of those things. So it's not just about performing or running faster or jumping higher. It's those little things that go into having a higher quality of life.
Welcome back for the 10th end, the 2023 Junior National Curling Championships from Wayland, Massachusetts, and the Broomstones Curling Club. Quick update, sheet 3, handshakes on sheet 3. So the final there, after 9 ends, Team Johnson score 8-3 over Team Berg. So the only game still active on the sheet at the moment is our feature sheet, sheet 2, where Team Viau has a 7-3 lead in the 10th. First rock coming in. Team Ponzio gonna have to throw some guards and manufacture an end.
2, 1.
You getting some messages from back home for this morning?
Yeah, I just got a message. Sean Stevenson, owner of the Rock Creek Curling Club, listening in. Thanks for listening. Asking for traffic and weather on the 9s. It's chilly and rainy this morning, but it's supposed to be quite nice today, so we're looking forward to it.
A little bit of fog on my morning drive.
Yeah. Two great shots to start off this end. Nice high guard from Team Ponzio, exactly what they need. Team Viau just gonna throw one through, mitigate the number of rocks in play.
And the pendulum bubble braid, just cleaning it through.
I thought you wanted me to take it out, and I was so confused. You did not like clarify that. Touch my weight. I figured it out.
You and I have had some jokes recently about hair and the involvement of hair in curling, but I will say I'm always wildly impressed with teams that have longer hair and how they manage it, because I personally just can't imagine it. I know my wife's job, the girls team that she coaches, one of her jobs as a coach is to make sure that the hair is properly braided.
I believe our first interaction at Club Nationals was about hair. There was, for those who don't know, there was a little piece of hair on our sheet, and I quickly said it was definitely not my team. I believe my team was follically challenged.
I believe that's the nice way to put it. That guard just coming up a hair short for Ponzio, which is a tough one here.
Gonna need some help now to be able to make this comeback.
Clean.
Yep.
Clean.
Team Viau going for another through rock.
10.
They'll start peeling on the next once the 5 guard roll is out of play.
11-3. Yeah. That works.
Oh.
Maybe the Viau team will help out Ponzio here. We should let them know that she's a power lifter, so put some intimidation there.
Right.
Come on. Sit. Sit. Clean.
Perfect draw. Coming in,
You like the peel?
buried behind their guard. Still high.
Yeah,
I think
pretty good shot.
it's fine. We're high enough up here.
Claire playing the smart move and just peeling off the top one. No
Yeah, you
reason to
don't-
chase.
You don't want to play the other turn either, which I think she might have been asking for as well.
Yeah, too much risk of jamming on the one that they do have in the house.
Yep.
Yes!
Broom down early, hard sweep.
Not a lot of weight behind that peel, and
Hard, clear, go! Stick, clear, go!
enough action on the spinner.
Just gets out.
Just gets it out of there.
Yep.
Does leave a very minimal corner guard up. Still, corner guard nonetheless. I've seen a lot worse and hidden around a lot worse. So, still an opportunity.
It's a guard, right?
That's going to have her team throw another guard here.
Probably the last time they can almost throw a guard.
Yeah.
Yeah! Hard!
You need that.
Going hard to curl it over, try and get it as far off the center line as possible and have it cover up theirs that's in the house. Given how high it is and where it is, Claire's just going to chase the one in the house.
Wide.
Do you like rolling out?
I kind of like no.
Okay. Okay, let's go for nose. Yeah.
This is another thing, maybe a difference from the women's game and the men's game. I might try and maybe slash the guard into that.
Yes! Yes! Hard!
Or just be a difference of opinions.
Yeah.
Hard for a piece.
Nothing wrong with this shot either,
Hard roll, hard roll. Go, Megan.
as they remove it.
Is that down?
Just get it out. Yeah, I think
Make them count.
Almost the commentator's jinx there.
we're good at that. I think if you remove the guard, it's not wrong because it opens it up. You just need to remove yellow rocks from play. I think there's definitely an argument that says Team Ponzio is never going to be able to make that guard count. And as long as you can see one that is counting, chase that one.
It's fine. Coming down!
I guess the worst thing that happens if they try and go for the top one and they say they stuff it on their own that is in the house, you're doing them a favor. So don't give yourself a chance to get that close to it.
Hard! Hard!
This one checks up a little short, tight guard.
Do you like that?
Gotta watch the stuff
I'm
in
gonna
the
give you a
back.
little more broom than
Yeah.
necessary.
Yeah, you gotta go.
Yeah. We're still on this one. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
That's fine.
Roll, hard roll, hard roll.
That
hard roll, hard
should
roll.
be
That's
And
good.
it's clear.
the game.
Is that your second?
And that's handshakes.
I didn't even know.
With that, the final score, Team
Good
Viau
job.
over Team Ponzio,
Good, Kelly.
7-3 in draw 5. That brings Team Viau to 2-3 and Ponzio to 1-4. Team Ponzio not completely eliminated from contention yet, but will need a lot of help to get brought back into play. Team Viau can control their own fate by continuing to win their games.
As we'll go over the final scores again here from across the sheets, we had Team Rarchuk beating Team Hagenbach 14-6 on sheet 1. Our game, Team Viau over Team Ponzio 7-3. Team Johnson over Team Berg 8-3. And on sheet 4, Team Shield over Team Pekowitz 9-3. It was a pleasure chatting with you this morning, Sean.
Always.
I had a good time. Hopefully, I think we capped out at like 57 viewers at one time. So, it feels a little warm up here in the sunshine,
I'll take it. I'll take it. Apologies to everybody out there, and thanks for sticking with us. hope you enjoy the curling the rest of the week. And to all the competitors that may be watching this, either live or on playback, good luck and good
She
curling.
can do it for you next year.